Hello everyone, my name is Uchechi Ishola. I am the project lead for the Beauty Beyond Speech project. The Beauty Beyond Speech project is an initiative of S-DELI. S-DELI means the Safe the Deaf and Endangered Language Initiative. The S-DELI was created to address the issues of inequalities faced by persons living with disabilities. Started first in Nigeria, and then now it's now a global organization. We are grateful for the leadership of Mr. Ima Asonia in ensuring and steering the affairs of the organization to greater heights. So Beauty Beyond Speech project was specifically designed to also address the issues of domestic violence, physical, violence, sexual violence, based targeted at young girls and women living in Nigeria. And in the course of our work, we have come face to face with some of these incidences where girls as early as 13, 14 have been assaulted or maltreated, by their guardians, by their teachers, and this has been the focus of our work in ensuring that we continue to carry out sensitization in the schools, on how deaf, persons should be treated and how they also should be protected as well. So that's what we have done with the Beauty Beyond Speech project. We also have had trainings for ambassadors. These are young women who have also, sort of have survived the times, and so they have become ambassadors now, stepping down the training to other younger women living in their communities as well. So this is what we have done as an organization, and we are grateful. I am grateful for the opportunity that Mr. Iman Asoni has given me to be able to steer the affairs of that project, to what it has been and what it is even now. Now, this also brings me to the opportunity to say congratulations, big congratulations to the S-DELI team. It's the 10th anniversary, and we all know that something that has come to 10 years is not child's play. For the work that S-DELI does, I think we should give them 21 bozas for that. Ensuring that these persons who are the persons living with disabilities, who are not accounted for, who are not spoken for, have a voice, and are given the opportunity also to also speak, or to also be heard. Yeah, that's the right word. No, so I think that Excel has done a great job all these years, and I celebrate the leadership once again. I celebrate the leadership of Mr. Ima Asodi and every other person who is doing their work in corners, in communities, in the hidden parts of the communities, helping to see that indeed these disabilities, these inequalities are completely reduced. So thank you very, very much for the work. Thank you very much, S-DELI, and I hope and I pray that 10 years from now also you will have persons who have benefited from this project coming out also with their own SPET projects, with their own organization, saying that this is where we got our encouragement from, this is where we got our empowerment from, this is the organization that empowered us to believe in ourselves, and now we're also doing our own part to see that there's a chain reaction of people who have been mentored, who have been trained, and who are carrying out this, unique work, to greater heights. So I appreciate the S-DELI team. Thank you very, very, very much. Congratulations to you. I hope to receive my cake from here. Okay, so and now this brings me to the my topic for today. I'll be working with my friends Tumbari and Esther, so I'm working with them to ensure that this, comes out the way it should. And so I'm speaking on deaf leadership, from because of the work that I had with them, they're and ensuring that they become ambassadors in the local organizations, the local communities. We realize that there is little or no advocacy done for deaf persons. At least I'm speaking for Nigeria. And so there is need to ensure that there are leaders, ambassadors, leaders. And this is me saying we will get there, when the government begins to see deaf, the deaf community as an integral part, of the society as well. It is sad to see that they are usually unaccounted for. It's sad to see that they are underreported. It is hard to see that they are underutilized. It's sad, to also see that they are not even given a fair hearing, and they're not also given a good standing. Where I come from and where I see them, you will find out that they are either in corners, hiding in murky. So, like I said, we need to have, you know, voices, speaking very vehemently about the rights and privileges of deaf persons in Nigeria and anywhere else in the world. Now, how do we develop, you know, young people, into deaf leadership? First, we have to evaluate their disability policy and advocacy for deaf persons, inclusive of the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. We need people who are working on that document, ensuring that every law and every act and every bill, right there in that document is read through, explained, and passed down to persons who we have said, okay, this person can be trained on this, So it's important that they also, persons who have been selected for, deaf leadership, because it's something that we must do intentionally, right? So we don't just hope that, someone just comes up and take, the blue by the horn. We are grooming leaders, for the deaf community, intentionally grooming leaders, just the way that people in the political space are doing the work of, we have parties, party memberships where they are talk about the tenets of their parties and all of that. We also need to have, such platforms where people are intentionally doing it. For deaf leadership roles. It will do the communities, it will do us a lot of good to see that, this can take place in my lifetime and take place in our lifetime as well. I'm sure that it will give SME a relief to see that those who have been raised under them, or raised through this initiative, can take up the work and continue the process, until the end of time. So we will have people who are going to go through that disability document, strip it of all of this, whatever it is, and then take all of the three issues that are there are being discussed and stepped down and are thoughts, right? And then we also will have to learn how to communicate, with the deaf community as well. Such persons will understand. I understand that, and they are, just as there are various languages, there are also various, sign languages as well, and so I know that the American Sign Language is one that can become politically enforced, and so if we are teaching that, let it be that, it have to be a unified front, it has to be, we have to work in a unified, home front where everything is just the way it should be. So if the documentation that we make in that regard, then it should be made in that regard as well. Then the next is also that to choose appropriate technologies, to use to make all of this information available, right? So now that we are in the period of technological advancement, so part of this fund, I know that funding is an issue, but then funding should go into choosing appropriate communication technologies, assessing accessibility for all of these services, finding, screening, and training interpreters, learning and conducting outreaches as well. So all of this that we have said, like I said in number one, is being able to bring out the policy on persons with disability, and then break it down in such a way that even women and girls and other persons living in communities can understand this high level document as well. And so every communication that can be used, any form of communication that can be used, should be made available whether human form of, human resources where you have interpreters, but the interpreter should also be taught, in such a way that, that they are unified. We really need a form of a unified form of operation. That is one of the way I believe that we can, that we can crack the wall, the wall that has sort of bounded, this deaf community in a long time. Yeah, and so also we cannot overemphasize the fact where we have to keep on creating safe spaces for these persons. It's a long, it's when a deaf person even comes to me, and maybe for some reasons I come in contact with them, I ensure that I let my guards down, because normally speaking, they're always guarded, they always, worry who wants to take from them, who wants to take from them. And so you must, as a matter of essence, ensure that you are a safe space for them, to be able to speak to them. Also, as you are doing that, you're also learning from them and being able to know what to do about, all of the issues that they come up or are faced with. And we need to really empower. And like I said, and I'm closing this, that we need to empower and strengthen leadership qualities. Leadership is not for the speaking persons. It is not only for the speaking persons, right? It is also for any human who has been created by God, regardless of their disabilities. It also can also be trained to be a leader. Right, so the ambassadors that have come from the BBL training, have been trained to be leaders. We have trained them on how to communicate, with victims of sexual assault. We have trained them on how to become community advocates. They've been trained on certain, cases or certain across certain materials where they can be able to intervene. If there are no organization, if there's no S-DELI, or if there's no police around there, how they can communicate. And so we need all of these efforts to be amplified, and stepped down, so that not just one person in the community becomes a voice, but even so much more person or so many other persons can also become a voice as well. So I'm closing now with my desire that it is deaf persons themselves who can make things better for themselves. I am speaking, but I cannot. As much as I understand, and as much as I can relate, and as much as I have thoughts, on issues that concern the deaf community, I believe that it is deaf persons that can actually, make things better for themselves. And so we need to empower them to look within, as much as we can create available for them, or provide them with handouts, provide them with materials, provide them with, all those short forms of, help or intervention. It is important that we also at this level take it back to them that they need to be empowered from within, because that is the way that we can have stronger communities among the deaf community, right? So as leaders, it's our responsibility to develop leaders. So I am also saying that S-DELI, as we all have marked our 10th anniversary, I hope that we can do even so much work, from now to the next 10 years, ensuring that these kind of things can happen. So at S-DELI, it's been a long road for us, and we are getting there. And we hope that with the new technologies that are available, we have the responsibility to make sure that we put our hands to work and really, give these people an opportunity at life. There's a saying that said, if you give me fish, if I ask you for fish and you give me, you have fed me for a day. However, if you teach me how to fish, you have fed me for a lifetime. We need to raise these deaf leaders within themselves. And I trust that our dreams, where they will have full accessibility, they have full control of their lives, it can happen, and it can happen even from now. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I appreciate the recommendation to have done this. I also thank my collaborators and Esther and Tolubari for also helping me, for us putting our heads together to ensure that this happens. Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful day. God bless you.